Colorado High School Activities Association football is on B106 and B106.com. Tonight from Longmont High School in Longmont, it is the Fort Morgan Mustangs and the Longmont Trojans in Game 10 here as we get ready to wrap up the regular season and look forward to the playoffs next week. Brian Nickel with Kevin Rohde here at Everly Montgomery Field in Longmont. And I believe the Trojans won the toss, deferred, so the Mustangs will have the ball to start the game, and we will see what the Mustangs can do against this Trojans defense, Kevin.
Right, and the Trojans do have a pretty decent kicker. The Trojans are a team that I'm somewhat familiar with, having watched them play 3 times already this year. And they're very physical, big up front. They're like Fort Morgan. They like to move the line of scrimmage and then hope their backs break it. And they pass kind of out of necessity, not necessarily as a big part of their game plan. So it's going to be interesting, a battle of 2 very physical teams.
That's for sure. Both teams love to run the ball, as you said. Fort Morgan averages well over 300 yards a game. The Trojans about 250 or so, 268 someplace in there. As we get ready for the kickoff here, and that is going to go down at about the 5, the 10. There's Adrian Marquette, Tate Kimball, as he gets it out to the 25-yard line for the Mustangs. The opening kickoff is brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. Looking to find insurance for your car, home, or even for you? Call Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance with 2 locations in Brush and Fort Morgan. They can help you with your home, car, health, or life insurance questions or provide a quote.
And that kind of shows how Longmont's just going to play their game. They're not going to overplay any one player. That's probably the first time Tate's been kicked to directly since early in the season.
So Fort Morgan I formation, hands off to Kimball over that right side, hits initially at the line of scrimmage, but we'll get a couple as he will get it out to about the 27, it looks like. We'll see when they unstack. Looks like it will be at the 28, so we'll give them a gain of 3. So 2nd and 7 from the 28 for the Mustangs.
As Coach Chisholm said, they have one linebacker, number 5, that just kind of flies around and finds the ball. Other than that, looks like they're lining up in a 4-3, 4-2.
So I formation is going to be handed off to Kimball over this left side. Has a breakout across the 25, and I believe he will have enough for the first down as he keeps his balance, then goes down at about the 35-yard line. So that will be enough for a first down. So nice job there by Tate Kimball coming around the left side to pick up that first down. So 1st and 10, Fort Morgan from the 35-yard line.
Fort Morgan feeling out the Longmont defense. Are they going to sell out inside and stop the dives, or are they going to try and contain and let us run up the middle? They pretty much have to make a choice.
So fullback backfield now. It's going to be handed off to Kimball over that right side. Gets a couple of yards. That ball ended up behind him. He still had hold of the ball, but it was on his back. And that will be a gain out to the 38-yard line. So another gain of 3. So 2nd and 7, Mustangs from the 38. As the Mustangs went tight formation on that play. We'll see if they come back out. It's still going to be tight. Bulis on the left as a blocking tight end. McBride on the right side. Fullback or full house backfield as Breidenbach goes out to the right. And handoff to Kimball as he gets it across the 40 out to about the 43. So that will bring up let's see where they put that, out to the 43. So 3rd and 2 from the 43-yard line for the Mustangs as Dalen Knapp, starting quarterback for the Mustangs, comes back over from the sidelines as he gets the play from Coach Harrison Chisholm. Tight formation, 3-back backfield once again for the Mustangs. Knapp under center. Big 3rd down here. It's going to be pitched back to Kimball as he gets around that right side. And thought he was going to get it there for a minute, but closing fast on that far side. And he is not going to get the first down. That will bring up a 4th down. Looks like he might have lost. Yeah, we're going to say a no gain. So it'll bring up a 4th and 2 from the 43.
Yeah, but it's a long 2.
So Marquez Looks like he will do the punting tonight for the Mustangs. Garber's a split gunner on the left side. Snap back to Marquez. Nice high spiraling punt. And that'll come down at the 25, and that's where the runner will go down as he goes down to one knee. So 1st and 10 Trojans from their own 25-yard line.
Fort Morgan there able to get the first down, but then struggled on that 3rd and 2 and tried to run outside. Longmont, a team with good defensive speed, was able to string it out and stop that.
So we'll call it a 1st and 10 on nose is on the 26. So tight formation for it's going to be a pitch off to the left. We're going around that left side, and that is going to be Kelvin Townsend as we have a flag thrown on the play. Looks like they had 2 men in motion.
Yeah, illegal shift.
So we got an illegal shift, so that will bring that play back.
Last week in their loss to Silver Creek, they had a lot of penalties. Both teams didn't play a very clean game, so hopefully that'll play into Fort Morgan's advantage as Longmont maybe shoots themselves in the foot.
So 1st and 15 now from the 21.
And they're not a team that's able to really recover from, a 1st and 15. They're more like Fort Morgan, where they like to get the 3, 4, 5 yards.
So now they go into a shotgun formation. Put a man in motion and rolls out to his right. Deep downfield, and that pass is going to be complete at the 30. Closing in on the quarterback is Trey McBride, but the quarterback, Oakley Denning, stepped up and got the pass complete. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 6 from the 30-yard line for the Trojans.
It's now 2nd down, 6 yards to go.
As they do not pass much, but they did there more out of necessity than anything. Now they're going to be a tight formation. One receiver left. Now they're going to put a man in motion. It's going to be a handoff right up the middle. And let's see, that's going to be Townsend again, I believe.
Yep.
As he gets it across the 30 out to the 32-yard line. So a gain of 2. So it brings up a 3rd and 4. Trojans from their own 32-yard line.
Be nice to see Fort Morgan hold them here and 3 and out early on and force a punt.
So Oakley Denning for the Trojans is a sophomore. So receiver split wide left, receivers right. It's going to be a handoff, but that play comes to an end early as we have another penalty against the Trojans. That will mark them back 5. So they'll bring up 3rd and 9 now.
Right, and for those of you from Fort Morgan, the name Denning sounds familiar. There used to be an English teacher at the high school named Lance Denning. He is now teaching somewhere here in Longmont, and his son is the quarterback for Longmont, sophomore. Played quite a bit last year because their starting quarterback got hurt early on in the Windsor game and led them to a lot of victories.
So 3rd and 9 from the 27. Shotgun formation, 2 receivers left, 2 right. Looks across the middle, and that pass is going to be caught out across the 35, the 40. And he will finally be brought down just short of their own 45-yard line at the 44. So 1st and 10 Trojans after that pass completion. Tate Kimball in on the tackle. So 1st and 10 from the 44 for the Trojans. Tight formation once again. Townsend goes in motion. Denning's going to keep it, and he is hit at the line, but he does make some forward progress out to the 46. Let's see where at the 46. 47, excuse me. So it'll be a gain of 3, so 2nd and 7.
And they just like to do that little pitch, and then Denning leads up the field and blocks, and Townsend comes in behind. Not very many teams use their quarterback as a lead blocker.
So shotgun formation, 2 receivers left. Put a man in motion. It's going to be a handoff around this right end. Nice job on this right end as Keller, Jimmy Keller with the stop at the 49-yard line. So a gain of 2, so they'll bring up a 3rd and 5
Ball's now at the Longmont
for the
49
Trojans from their own 49-yard line.
3rd down, 5 yards to go.
So Townsend comes out, and Will Pruis comes out as well. So 2 receivers left, 2 right with a halfback on the left side. Put him in motion. It's going to be a keeper by Denning, and it'll be close. He may get the first down. Looks like from the far side he's going to be short by about a yard. So we'll bring up 4th and 1 from the 47-yard line of the Mustangs.
1 yard short of the first down.
So we'll see if they go ahead and decide to punt this away or if they're going to pick it up. It looks like the offense is still on the field for the Trojans.
But they're doing shotgun, so it's probably going to be some sort of quarterback.
Put a man in motion to and then Fort Morgan jumps. We're going to see if they call an offside on Fort Morgan. Yep. Gave him a free 5 yards there.
Yep.
So that is an offsides on Fort Morgan. Not sure who that was. Might have been Jorge Ramos, number 73 on that right side. So 1st and 10. Trojans from the Mustang 42.
Seem to be having their way slowly but surely down the field.
So they drop the ball, and Denning picks it up, but he is hit in the backfield by Trey McBride, Jimmy Keller, and Dylan McBride. So they had a defensive meeting back at the quarterback on the 44-yard line. So a loss of 2, so 2nd and 12 from the Mustang 44 as they had a bad snap.
And he was lucky to be able to get to that and pick that up because they could have certainly scurried away and Fort Morgan could have recovered that.
So Townsend to the sideline once again. Shotgun formation for Denning. Receiver split wide left and also in the slot. Denning goes back, looks down the right side, and that ball is going to be over the head of the intended receiver, Drake Engelking. So that will bring up a 3rd and 12. Trojans from the Mustang 44.
First standing pass to hit the ground. His first 2 were for 9 and 12. Both of them going to Elkins.
So big 3rd down here for the Mustangs defensively to try to stop this Trojan march down the field. Down to 3:31 in the first quarter. No score here as we play here. Put a man in motion. It's going to be a handoff over that left side. Breaks a tackle on that left side. He gets around that outside, the 35, the 30, the 25, the 20, and finally knocked out of bounds on the far sideline at about the 20-yard line. And that looks like Isaac Winker that came up with the stop over on the far sideline. So 1st and 10 Trojans. So they knocked him out at the 24. So 20-yard gain.
I didn't see, was that 18 that ran that? Or 19?
I think it was 18.
That's what I was thinking, but Carson Willis, yep.
Put a man in motion to the left and gets the ball down to the about the 21, it looks like. It's hard to tell to the
20-yard line.
Unpile him. Looks like it's going to be at the 21, so a gain of 3. So 2nd and 7, Longmont.
And who carried that, Townsend?
Yeah. So Longmont controlling the line of scrimmage
early on
at the moment. So, but a beautiful night here at Everly Montgomery Field, that's for sure. On artificial turf at the stadium. So 2 receivers right, 1 left. Put a man in motion. Denning's going to keep it up the middle, breaks a tackle, and he's going to get it down inside the 15. Looks like it will be enough.
Oakley Denning back flips his way.
Let's see, they're going to mark it at about the 14-yard line, so it looks like it. Let's see if they're going to mark it for a first down. And they do give him the first down. So 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line. Longmont started this from their own 21-yard line.
And they don't seem to mind playing against Fort Morgan. Fort Morgan's going to have to figure out defensively how to do that. They're very balanced, throwing, passing, running.
So tight formation. Man in motion is going to be a handoff right up the middle to Townsend as he gets it down to about the 11, it looks like. So that'd be a gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Once again, we've had a lot of 2nd and 7s early on here. The Trojans started this drive with 8:47 on the clock, and it's down to 1:57.
Kind of a Fort Morgan style run, and that's kind of what we expected from Longmont, is just play power football and let their linemen do the work up front.
So shotgun formation, man in motion. It's going to be a keeper. They'll blow the whistle, bring the play dead. It must be on, let's see who they're going to call it on. It's going to be offsides on Fort Morgan, I guess. That's 10 yards of free real estate here in this drive for the Trojans, as they had it second offsides on the Mustangs. So now 2nd and 2 from the 6.
2 yards to go.
As we're sitting at 1:30 and counting here in the first period. 2 receivers right, put a man in motion going left, and Fort Morgan's going to jump again as Denning with a hard count. So that'll be enough for a first down. That was against Trey.
First and goal down at the 3. Putting in their goal line defense.
So first and goal, Trojans, as Kevin said, from the 3.
It's now first down. Goal to go from the 3.
We're down to 1:12 and counting here. First period. Denning goes up under center for the Trojans. Put Townsend in motion left to right. Or right to left, excuse me, and he is going to be brought down for no gain from the back. Looked like Trey McBride might have run him down from the left side.
He did. That was a great defensive play there. Sometimes you don't block that backside end because you don't think they're going to be able to make it, and they might have to do that against Trey.
So no gain, so 2nd and goal from the 3.
Yeah, if we could figure out some way to hold them here and let them get away with just 3 points, that'd be a huge victory for Fort Morgan.
So this is the 14th play of the drive. We're down to 24 seconds in the first quarter. Split a man wide right, put a man in motion. Denning's going to roll out to his right. We have I thought it was a flag, but no flag. That is an incomplete pass. We have a flag, though, that is thrown now at about the 13.
That's right where you would see holding.
Could be holding, maybe eligible receiver downfield, maybe.
But I think that would be throwing more down into the end zone where they would have been. They're kind of talking to 77 and telling him what he did. I don't know if it's 77, what number that is.
So we will get the call here in illegal man downfield. So that will repeat 2nd and goal now from where are they at?
About the 8.
About the 8-yard line. So 2nd and goal, Trojans, as the clock does not start. As they substitute some players in here now. Receiver wide right. Denning in the shotgun formation, puts a man in motion left to right. Now he's going to set up as a... Now we have a delay of game. There'll be another 5 yards back. So that will bring up still 2nd and goal. This time from the 13.
And there's still only 13 seconds left.
So it looks like Longmont has called a timeout. So we'll just keep it right here for now, as they're still trying to get this 14th playoff of the drive. Had 2 back-to-back penalties. They started this drive from their own 21.
And if they tried throwing from the 3, 2nd and 3, that's kind of a surprise. I guess I'd expect them to either pass or, do a screen or a draw or something maybe.
Yeah, they've been, as you said, 1st and goal from the 3, and they try to pass the ball, and they've been running. I don't think they've got less than 3 yards on a couple of them back here where they got to Denning, but Townsend has been getting at least 3 yards a pop. So, So 2nd and goal from the 13.
Although we had our goal line defense in, which makes us vulnerable to pass, and there were 2 receivers wide open in the back of the end zone. We just split the difference between them.
So receiver split wide right, 1 left, Denning in the shotgun formation. He's going to keep it up the middle, and he is going to be brought down out about the line of scrimmage.
Oakley Denning is cut
So
down
that'll bring
right
up a
at the line.
3rd and goal.
I think he lost one. He's back to the 14.
So 3rd and goal from the 14, but that will bring this first quarter to an end. So we will pick it up on the other side of the break here on B106 and B106.com. Brian Nicklin, Kevin Rohde back here at Everly Montgomery Field in Longmont, as each team has had a possession in the first period of play. Fort Morgan had it for 6 plays and then had it for 5 plays, then punted. The Trojans took over with 8:47 to go in the first period and have run 14 plays so far from their own 21 and face a 3rd and goal from the 14.
And there's been 7 penalties in that 14-play drive, so they've actually attempted 21 different plays, but 7 of them have been, the outcome's been changed by a penalty either against Fort Morgan or Longmont, and that's not what either team wants, I'm sure.
Yeah, so I know. So we'll start fresh here on the second quarter as the Trojans, as we said, was 3rd and goal from the 14. As they said, Kobe Martin wide right, Denning in the shotgun formation. Goes in motion. Denning looks up. He is going to be sacked by the Fort Morgan defense. So that'll bring up a long 4th and goal. We'll see if they have any type of a field goal kicker.
Yeah, they do. He's a pretty good kicker.
So that was a loss back to the 17. So 4th and goal
Denning cut down by Blinker.
from the 17.
And Denning's 2 nice runs of 4 and 7 yards have kind of been erased by losses of 2, 1, and 3.
Kicker is Avery Peterson, 5'10" senior. Waiting for the snap, and the kick is up, and it is going to be no good as the Fort Morgan Mustangs hold Longmont. Great defensive job here by the Mustangs as defensive coach Josh Langford meets the defense as they come off the field. So a big defensive stand by the Mustangs as they will now take over 1st and 10 from their own 20.
Their own 20-yard
And I think they need to thank Longmont for having 2 or 3 penalties in a row and pushing themselves back from 2nd and goal at the 3. But still a good job by the defense and no score.
So Fort Morgan handoff over this left side to Kimball as he finds it hard running, but he will get it out to about the 25-yard line.
Kimball gets 5 yards out near the
So
25.
they're going to call it the 24, it looks like, just on the side, just outside the 24. So it'll be 2nd and 6 from the 24 for the Mustangs. As we're just shortly into the second period here with no score, as the Trojans just missed a field goal try. Turned over to the Mustangs. Now it's going to be a handoff. It's going to be a keeper to Austin Breidenbach. A pass. He gets across the 40, the 45, the 50, the 45, the 40, 35, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds on the far sideline. But it was a keeper by Knapp, and then he threw to Austin Breidenbach out in the left flat, and then he took it down to the Trojan 28-yard line. So big run there, or big pass play by the Mustangs.
48 yards on the carry, or on the pass.
So handoff, we hit in the backfield. That is that number 5 that we were talking about earlier, Austin Hassler. As he hits Tate Kimball in the backfield, that'll be a loss back to the 31.
First negative yardage play for the Mustangs.
So a loss of 3.
And when you have a linebacker who guesses like that, sometimes you have big plays, sometimes he's in the wrong hole and leaves someone wide open.
So a pass play over. Marquez was open, but Knapp threw it behind him, so incomplete pass. So 3rd and 13. Mustangs from the Trojan 31. So we will see what the Mustangs can do to pick up at least part of this anyway.
All right. They're kind of in no punt territory, but it'd be nice to at least have a better option on 4th and 13.
So Marquez left, McBride right, as Knapp rolls out to his right. Finds a Bulis on the crossing pattern. He has it down to the, enough for the first down as he gets it down to the 16-yard line. So nice job there by the Mustangs as Bulis comes up with the catch.
And that's one of those plays where they're so busy watching Trey McBride that the other receivers are going to be able to sneak in there.
So 1st and 10 from the 16 for the Mustangs. Marquez left, McBride right. Going to be a handoff to Kimball around that left side, opening on the hole there, and he cuts it up inside the 15, bounces off a tackle, and he's going to get it down inside the 10. As he will get it down to the 8. So a gain of 8, so it'll bring up a 2nd and 2 from the 8 for the Mustangs. Nice job running, had a big hole on that left side. So Knapp underneath, I formation behind Knapp's going to be a handoff to Kimball on that left side, and he is going to go into the end zone for the touchdown for the Mustangs as they go up 6-0 here with 8:51 to go on a 8-yard run by Tate Kimball over the left side. So now the PAT coming up.
We just went around the left side and kind of juked one guy and then dove into the end zone. So what a drive to come back after Longmont goes 16 plays and doesn't score.
So snap is down, the kick is up, and it is good for the Mustangs. They tack on the extra point, make it 7-0 with 8:51 to go here on B106 and B106.com. 7-0 Fort Morgan as we get ready for a kickoff here from Trey McBride as the Mustangs just put a score up on the board with 8:51 to go here in the second period, first score of the game. Trojans have Austin Hassler back as well as Drake Engelking back at about the 5-yard line. So McBride with the go-ahead puts the foot into it. It's a wobbly kick as it's going to land about the 15 and skip and picked up and then dropped by Engelking, but he has a lane over on that right side as he gets it out past the 35 to about the 36-yard line. So a nice return by Engelking as he gets it out to the 35-yard line.
And that's one of those plays where sometimes the timing, is broken by him bobbling the ball, and that helps the defense, and sometimes it helps the runner because the defense is out of their lanes coming down, and the timing just doesn't work what they're used to.
So 1st and 10 from their own 35. As Denning hands it off to, I believe that was Townsend. So he gets it out to the 40. So 2nd and 5 from the 40. It was hard to see who had it. I didn't know if Denning had it there for a minute. They're real close in that backfield. That's hard to see.
He pitches and then leads upfield and blocks, and it is hard. Seems like Townsend's the guy they're going with. That's his 5th carry of the night, and I guess Denning has 5 carries as well.
So Denning hands off to Engelking as he gets it out across the 45. They must have started that drive at the 36. That's where the marker is on the other side. So brings up a 3rd and 1 from the 35. For Longmont as the Mustangs lead at 7-0 here with 7:48 and counting in the second period.
And anytime you can get to 3rd and 1, your offense is having success. And so the defense needs to do something to hold them up a little bit.
So handoff right up the middle, and that is going to be enough for the first down. As that is number 30, Kobe Martin, and he gets enough for the first down as he gets it out to the 48.
His first carry of the night.
So 1st and 10. Trojans from their own 48. So real tight formation as always for them. Trojans. Denning in the shotgun formation. He's going to have a keeper right up the middle around this left side, pushing one of his offensive linemen out of the way, and he will get it down into Fort Morgan territory, down to about the 41. So 1st and 10. Trojans.
And Fort Morgan really hasn't had to play very many teams where you have to account for the quarterback as a primary runner, and they're going to have to figure that one out. Maybe put a spy on him.
So go ahead.
As I say, Trey McBride really getting upfield quickly and ran right past the play that time.
So shotgun back to Denning, and it'll be a pass. Oh, big hit on that far sideline by Garver. Grayson Garver with a big hit on number 19, Cruz Garcia. That'd be a gain of 1, but he'll remember that one as he was hit pretty good by Grayson Garver. So 2nd and 9 from the 40.
And that sets the tone a little bit. Garver not being a real physical back earlier in the season, so it's good to see him kind of coming back.
So a pitch back to Townsend. But Townsend was met at the line of scrimmage by Dylan McBride. He'll get it just inside the 40. So still 3rd and 9.
Yep.
From the 40, 3rd and 9. Let's see Townsend. No, Townsend doesn't come out. We don't know who's coming out yet.
And Elkins is the guy who caught the first couple passes. They want to keep him in and passing down. And
so 3rd and 9 from the Mustang 40. Denning in the shotgun formation. Rolls out to his left. He's a right-handed thrower, wide open at the 28, the 25, the 20, and down inside the 15, and that is going to be Will Prius for the reception, and he was knocked out at the 13-yard line.
And they're really giving him a lot of time to throw, and that receiver's dragging all the way across from the right side, the tight end, and getting all the way down to the 13.
Yep. Denning under center. It's going to be pitched back to Townsend as he is going to be. The ball comes out. It looked like he was down, but they're going to say the hit was out, and they're going to give it to Fort Morgan. So big hit there at about the 10, and Townsend coughs it up. They've already given it to Fort Morgan as they're fighting for it there on the ground, but we could see that Fort Morgan had got on it. I thought maybe they were going to call him down, but
right.
They're saying Fort Morgan football, so we will take it. That's for sure.
Yeah. Big break for the Mustangs there as we weren't able to stop Longmont on that drive.
So 8 plays ends in a fumble for the Trojans. So it'll be 1st and 10 Mustangs deep in their own territory from the 9.
Definitely the worst field position we've had. We started on the 25 and the 20. Went 80 yards for a touchdown last drive.
So with 5:13 left in the second period, the Mustangs up 7-0. 1st and 10 from the 9. As they give it to Kimmel over that left side, and he will get a couple of yards. About 4 as he gets it out to the 12. So that'll be a gain of, let's see,
almost the 13.
Like the 13, that's right.
A long 4.
So 2nd and 7.
2nd down, 7 yards to go.
For the Mustangs as Marquez goes wide left, McBride to the right. Handoff to Kimball as he breaks it up the middle. And nice run there by Trey Kimball. Nice job by the offensive line to make a hole as he will get it out across the 20 to the 23. So a 10-yard run there by Kimball.
And they are definitely not respecting Trey McBride out here on the right side. They've got one cornerback that's about 5 yards inside and about 8 yards deep. And if we throw a quick out or something, I think that's some potential.
So high formation behind Knapp. Going to be a handoff to Kimball over that left side. Gets about 5, 6, 7 yards, almost 10. He gets it out across the 30. He's going to get at least, looks like 8 yards. So we're a yard short, so it's 2nd and 1. Yeah, yes, from the 32. So 2nd and 1 for the Mustangs. 3:50 left in the second period. The Mustangs up 7-0. It's going to be a handoff to Kimball over that left side, and he will have enough for the first down as he will get it out to the 34-yard line, or just short of the 34, but enough for a first down. Yeah, to 34, so gain of 2. So 1st and 10 Mustangs with 3:32 left. Go ahead.
Where Longmont runs by committee with lots of different people getting the ball, Fort Morgan so far has pretty much gone Tate Kimball. In fact, only Tate Kimball's carried the ball.
Yep. So play action by Knapp as he looks downfield here for McBride, and he is going to be there with the ball. Caught at the 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Fort Morgan, and there are no flags on the play. Has
66 yards on that play. What a great, man, did he lay that out there wide open. That was awesome.
He laid that right into Trey McBride's hands at the 25, and he took it on in to put the Mustangs up now 13-0 with 3:08 left in the first half. With the PAT coming up.
That was
just, what did you say, just the play before that?
Yeah.
They're not respecting Trey McBride whatsoever, and they just got burned. And that kick is going to be up, and it is good.
It's nice to have that freshman Adam Cordona kicking that extra point.
That's for sure. That puts them up now 14-0 with 3:08 left here on B106 and B106.com. Brian Nixon, Kevin Rohde here. We just see the Mustangs go up by 2 touchdowns over Longmont here on their home field in the final game of the regular season. The Mustangs now up 14-0 with 3:08 left here in the first half. And I think Coach Harrison Chisholm was listening to Kevin on the broadcast as he laid it out there that they were not respecting Trey, and that's where the ball went. Now a kickoff is going to be taken down at the 5, the 10, the 15, the 20, the 25, and squirts out across the 25 to about the 27. With 3 minutes exactly on the clock here in the first half.
And that's where Longmont's style of offense is going to kill them, because they've got to get downfield in 3 minutes. So look for them to pass and maybe get out of their comfort zone.
So 1st and 10 from the 27.
And just being down 14 points, they're not the type of team that's going to be able to, trade touchdowns with us from here on out.
So tight formation once again as a pitch back to Angle King, and he is held for a short gain.
And there's Keller on the tackle that time.
So they will get it out to the, where they mark that at? 20. They're going to say the 29, so it's going to be a 2nd and 8.
And let that clock run.
With 2.5 left here in the first half. One receiver right, one left. With a slot receiver getting in the shotgun as he goes back, and he is hit, and the ball is going to be dropped out about the 35. Got a flag over on the far side.
Maybe illegal formation or sideline warning. Not sure. He's turned around talking to the coaches. Hopefully it's not a sideline interference.
Maybe he's...
Oh, penalty against Longmont. They didn't catch what it was.
I didn't see what it was, but looks like it might have been... We'll see. They'll come over and...
Yep. 5-yard penalty.
Illegal formation on the Trojans.
Probably too many people in the backfield.
So that will bring up 2nd down and 13.
And when you force the team into passing, if we can get a little pressure on them, maybe we can get a pick, or even better, a pick six, and go into half up 21-0. Boy, that would be sweet.
Yeah. So 2:23 left here in the first half of play. The Mustangs up 14-0. Trojans 2nd and 13 from their own 24. Denning in the shotgun formation, goes back, and a flag is thrown, but the pass is going to be complete out to the 34-yard line.
And it's legal formation again. I don't know if the lineman's lining back or one of the ends are too far up.
So they will march them back once again, as the faithful here at Longmont High School not happy with the proceedings as they are going right now.
And let me tell you, last week against Silver Creek, the Longmont faithful were very vocal. And, it's been a while since I've sat in the stands, and sometimes it amazes me what losing teams' fans will say. Of course, they're all much better coaches than the coach, and they have much better angle on the plays than the officials. So
yep. So 2nd and 18 from the 19. Shotgun formation as Denning goes back, and he is going to get the pass off and complete the pass as they get it out to the 32-yard line.
And that was maybe a hold here.
So we'll see what that penalty is.
Yep.
Another penalty on the play. So they'll march that back once again. We'll see what the referee tells us here. It's illegal man downfield. So that will set them back another 5.
And, a week ago in the Silver Creek game, they had like 3 of those called, but it was always against Silver Creek. So maybe we'll get a safety. I don't know.
Yeah.
2nd and 23 at the 19. And, well, one thing is they're using up all the clock.
Yeah, still a minute 39 and counting here. So a 2nd and 23 from the 14 now.
And I'm guessing Coach Johnson from Longmont, being somewhat of a conservative coach, is probably not going to take a lot of risks at this point.
Because they will get the ball to start the second half. So,
and I mean, when you're all the way down at your 14, you don't want to make a mistake and give them the ball.
So shotgun formation, they put a man in motion, then he goes straight back, and he's going to be flushed, but he's only going to make it back about to the original line of scrimmage at the 14. And it looks like Fort Morgan is going to call a timeout with 1:02. I believe that's what is happening over there. This Fort Morgan timeout is brought to you by Early Toyota East. Whether you're in the market to purchase a new or pre-owned vehicle, Early Toyota East in Fort Morgan will fit you into the car or truck of your choice. Serving all of Northeast Colorado, Early Toyota East.
And that's a wise timeout. You've got timeouts to burn, and you've got them pinned way back at their 14, 3rd and 23 to go. They're most likely not going to make it and have to punt. And, who knows what happens on a punt return, or, get good field position and maybe go down and score one more time.
Yep, maybe block a punt. We'll see as long as we don't get any stupid penalties on defense.
And that would be a perfect time to go for the punt block, because if you rough them, they get 15 yards in the first down, and what are they out to, the 30-yard line?
Yeah.
It's really no risk there, so that's a good thought to plant in their heads, I think.
So 1:02 left here, second period. Mustangs up 14-0.
What a beautiful night it is here in Longmont. Probably about 60 degrees at this point, crisp and clear, and what a season we've had as far as weather. Every game has been in really good weather. Playoffs are coming, though, and sometimes that means snow and inclement weather.
So shotgun formation for the Trojans. Put a man in motion. Denning rolls out to his right. That pass is going to be a drag route from 30 or 25 to the 30 and brought down at the 35-yard line.
And they bent almost to the point of breaking.
I believe that was Hayden Mosness. So that will bring up a 4th down. Not a 4th and 2.
Yep, they picked up 21 on that pass.
From the 35. put a man in motion, denting in the shotgun formation.
Trying to get us to jump, I imagine.
See what they're doing down to 23, 22 seconds.
Yeah, they're just trying to kill the clock, and they'll take the penalty and then punt from 5 yards deeper.
Yep, they're just going to let it go out. So good discipline by the Mustangs to not jump. We have 13 seconds left here now in the first half.
Barring any unforeseen occurrences, we're going to go into half with a 14-0 lead, which against a good, strong Longmont team is a victory for sure.
Yes, for sure. So we'll go back and pick up one of our sponsors. The first Fort Morgan score of the game is brought to you by Morgan Federal Bank, a bank that is committed to their community and keeping banking simple. They're on the cutting edge of banking. Stop by 321 Anson and see what options they have available. Morgan Federal Bank, there is a difference. So nice job so far.
Absolutely, and Fort Morgan going to receive the punt, and we will see.
At halftime, we'll have a performance by
It looks like they are going to punt.
as well as honoring the...
Yeah, there would be absolutely no logical point in going for it, but with Tate Kimball back, there's always that possibility that he takes it to the house.
So Tate stands back at their Mustang 30 as Longmont will now call a timeout. As it is still 4th and 2 from the 35.
Some games around Colorado in 3A. Palmer Ridge, who's going to win their league, our conference, is up 35-14 over Vista Peak. Pueblo County beating Sierra 21-0. Trying to see if there's any. Northridge in our league, 30-0 over Centaurus. Silver Creek plays tomorrow against Thompson Valley.
Yep.
Meade beating Berthoud only 14-7, which is kind of a surprise because Berthoud's way down there at 41st on the RPI.
So a few games going around.
Oh wow! And Palisade is putting it to Rifle 35-0 in the second quarter. So I guess we don't have to worry about Rifle being the division, conference champion. Palisade will pick up that probably number 3 or 4 seed, probably the 4th seed in the state tournament, which is a good place to be. Have a couple games before you have to play that number 1 seed in the semis, which we're guessing is going to be Discovery Canyon. No one wants to play the number 1 or 2 team. And Lewis Palmer at number 3 is pretty tough too. Well, Silver Creek will probably be that 4th seed, so Palisade will get 5th.
So snap back. It's blocked at the 25. So Fort Morgan with the ball at the 19-yard line with 7 seconds left.
And why not? And why would you not prepare your team for the fact that they're going to block the punt on that field position? So
that was Jimmy Keller with the block punt.
Wow. So what do you got? I'm thinking that you roll out to the right and throw it up in the corner of the end zone for McBride and have him go for a rebound. Tell him basketball season's starting.
Give him an early start.
Let's see your hops, all right.
So 1st and 10 from the 19 for the Mustangs with only 7 seconds left. So McBride and Garver split wide right. McBride's going to go downfield. It's going to be a pass out to the left as they get out. They're going to stop the clock with 1 second.
And we're going to call a timeout, I'm sure.
So that is complete to the 10.
So from the
2nd and 1, we'll see. Maybe they'll bring in Adam Cordona for a field goal try.
Absolutely. Why not? He can kick it from there. He kicked one earlier against Thompson Valley, I think it was. So who was that pass to? Catch that on the sideline.
Was that Marquez over on the left side?
We'll give it to Marquez.
Because Garver was over here as well as McBride.
Right, and that time they used McBride as a kind of a...
This will be a 26-yard field goal try.
Now let's just not get it blocked and have them run it back for a touchdown, right?
And the kick is going to be up. Looks like it's going to be up and
just
short.
Oh, well. Nothing else. We gave them something to think about at halftime.
For sure. So great first half of play here by the Fort Morgan Mustangs as we go into halftime with the Mustangs up 14-0 on B106 and B106.com. Ryan Nickel and Kevin Rohde back here at Everly Montgomery Field as we get ready for the start of the second half. The head coach of the Fort Morgan Mustangs is Harrison Chisholm in his 10th year. His assistants are Greg Edson, Josh Langford, Jeff Peterson, Jim Kreckermeyer, Ty Davis, Chris Cobley, Seth Wolf, and Ty Trahern. As Fort Morgan will kick off to the Trojans to start off this second half.
And as we were talking about on the way up, it's a new era in Fort Morgan Mustangs boys basketball as Trey Hearn, that you just mentioned, takes over for Chad Unrein, and we'll see whether he can continue the success that Chad had of getting him out there playing competitive and playing hard. So kind of excited about that, but hopefully we've got 4 more weeks of football to go.
That would be nice. So Trey McBride with the ball on the tee with Engel King and Hassler, and it's going to go to Hassler at the 10, the 15, 20, 25, and breaks a tackle, and finally is wrestled down out about the 28-yard line. Let's see where they finally put it down at.
It looks like more of 29.
It'll be the 29. So first and 10 Trojans from the 29 as we get this second half of play underway.
Good second effort by him. He was kind of corralled at the 25 and spun around and lunged.
So Townsend in motion, pitch back to Townsend, and he is going to be brought down for no gain. Let's see who was in there. It looks like Dylan McBride and maybe Jimmy Keller in there on the stop. So second and 10 Trojans from the 29.
And he's got 11 yards on 7 carries, so not a real successful night for him.
Looks like he's coming out of the game. We got a receiver wide left. Denning goes into the shotgun. Put a man in motion, and we have another flag. We'll see who that is. Dead ball.
Oh, yeah.
So Trojans shooting themselves in the foot to start off this second half. So second and 15. Go ahead.
And that's just exactly what I saw last week against Silver Creek, except Silver Creek also made mistakes, matched them penalty for penalty, and it was an ugly 10-3 football game.
So 2 receivers right, 1 left. Shotgun for Denning. Snap back to Denning. Looks out to his right, and that pass is going to be completed out across the 30. Looks like to about the 33-yard line, maybe to 34. Let's see where they finally put it. It will be at the 34. So 3rd and 5 after that 10-yard completion.
And that was Elkins again, his 3rd catch.
Now they said 2 receivers left. Denny once again shotgun formation. Put a man in motion. It's going to be handed off around this left end. Across the 35 to 40. And they said he wasn't down yet.
Wow. Garver's hurt.
Grayson Garver down out about the 41. I don't know if he's up and
I think if there was replays, we'd be having that ball back down there because I'm sure his knee touched.
Yeah.
He had a guy on his back and a guy underneath him. But they're going to give it to him. So that'll be that carry. That was
number 15, I believe.
15.
Engel King.
Yep.
So first and 10 Trojans as they get it down inside Fort Morgan territory to the 46.
20 yards on that carry, which is their longest carry.
Pitch back to Townsend as he bounces it outside, but nothing there.
The ball
on the ground, and I think, let's see who got it. Going to be second down. I believe that's the second time he fumbled that first one down at the 13 earlier in the first half. So
and we'll give him 1 on that.
So let's bring up 2nd and 9 from the 45. So Townsend with 2 fumbles tonight. Lost one and recovered another by the Trojans, and that ball is going to be handed right up the middle. And for about they're going to give him about a 3-yard gain down to the 43.
Yep.
So third down.
And I didn't catch who ran that one. Was that 18?
Yeah, I believe so. So now 3rd and 7 from the 43. Man in motion right to left, Denning shotgun formation. So they look to maybe change the play. So now 2 receivers left, 1 right. Denning shotgun, gets the snap, drops back, and he is going to be flushed out to his left and going to throw the ball out of bounds. But he does get it away before he goes out of bounds, I do believe. So that will bring up a 4th down as see Moody and Dylan McBride along with Luis Garcia forcing Denning out of bounds.
Only his second incompletion. And it looks like they're actually going to contemplate going for it. Let's make sure Fort Morgan doesn't jump on this one and give them a 4th and 2.
So Denning back in. Townsend will come out for this play. Probably set up a pass play here as they send 2 receivers right, 1 left. Denning in the shotgun formation, 8:33 left here in the 3rd period. Denning drops back, and he is hit, and the ball is tipped. Nice job there by Isaac Linker. In and out of the hands of Linker, but falls to the ground for the incompletion.
And Jimmy Keller says, welcome to 3A football.
That's for sure, as he got to Denning about a step late, but he put Denning to the ground. So Fort Morgan will take over.
Oh, wow, what a risky chance. I mean, that just shows the kind of respect they have for Fort Morgan, that they're willing to risk giving the ball to them out on the 43.
So Fort Morgan 1st and 10 from their own 43. With 8:28 to go, 3rd period, up 14-0. Handoff to Kimball over this left side, gets it out to the 45, maybe the 46. So that'll be a gain of 3, bring up a 2nd and 7 from the 46-yard line of the Mustangs.
First Trojan on the scene, number 14, Avery Peterson.
We mentioned while we were off the air at half how it was a quick first half. And this half's going fast too. It's only 8:22 and we're already almost halfway through the 3rd quarter.
So McBride right, Marquez left. It's going to be a handoff to Tate Kimball again over that left side. Gets it out across midfield into Trojan territory down to about the 49. Now we have a flag thrown on the far side during the play, or right at the end of the play.
So Tate's going to get 5 yards before the penalty.
So we'll see who that's going to go against.
Usually when you're gang tackling someone, it's going to be against you, but it could have been against an offensive guy coming in late.
So dead ball, personal foul on the
Yep.
Trojans. So their emotions showing here, start of this 3rd period, as it will be a 1st and 10 Fort Morgan.
All the way down at the 34.
So this would be big if they could take this in here and go up 3 scores.
Oh, yeah.
McBride wide right, Marquez to the left. I formation behind Knapp. It's going to be a handoff to Tate Kimball over that left side again, and he'll get about 3, maybe 4. Looks like maybe 3 down to the 31. We'll see when they unpile where he's going to be at the 31.
Starting to control that line of scrimmage like we've talked about all season. It's a little harder. Longmont's a little bit bigger. You got one guy coming out now, 71, 6 foot, 280, and he looks like maybe he's more around 300 at this point of the season. But they're big and they're brutal.
So I formation once again, Knapp under center, handoff to Kimball over the right side, and he breaks the tackle and he will get down inside the 30, down to about the 27-yard line. But still will bring up 3rd and short for the Mustangs. Here I am guessing if this would probably be 4 down territory. Depends how much they make on this play.
Absolutely, but I would think that they would go for it because the punt's only going to gain you 3 yards if you kick it out of the back of the end zone.
So 3rd down and 3. I formation once again.
Maybe go for a pass and then come back and run it on 4th down and 3.
McBride wide right, a handoff to Kimball as he goes up the middle. And it looks like he will have enough for the first down. If not, it'll be close. He had to get down to the 30. He had to get down to the 24. And they're eyeing it right now. And they will stop the clock and do a measurement.
Peterson made the tackle. Officials want to measure.
So we will see what happens here with 6:14 to go in the third period with the Mustangs up 14-0. As they started this drive with 8:28 on the clock from their own 43. So a little over 2 minutes taken off the clock here so far, and they do get the first down. So Tate Kimball, the horse they're riding tonight for sure.
Still the only guy to carry the ball for him. And you got to give a lot of credit to Breidenbach, who's sticking his nose up in there and blocking for him up front every time. George Correa's been in there a couple times.
I think Gerardo Miranda is also in there right now as the lead back. So he's in as the fullback for the Mustangs. At the moment, as the Mustangs have it 1st and 10 from the Trojan 24, going to be a counter to the left. Tate Kimball across the 20 down to the, let's see where it just about at the 20 it looks like.
Down near the 20.
So that will bring up a second. If not the 20, it'll bring up 2nd and 6.
Made the tackle.
From the 20, we'll take those 4-yard gains all night.
That's right. And it just demoralizes the defense. I know I've talked about that repeatedly, but that's one of the beauties of Fort Morgan's offense is it just grinds down that defense. And well, that's Longmont's plan too, but it just hasn't worked out for them quite as well.
So I formation, Kimball is the tailback. Knapp under center and going to go down the right side to McBride, and that ball is going to be tipped and then over the hands of McBride as the Trojans were bringing pressure up the middle.
That was somewhat of a ill-conceived play. Didn't look like Trey was even trying to get downfield until he threw the ball, and then all of a sudden I've got to run fast and get to it. Then the defender had a shot at it, almost a pick, and then Trey almost caught it on the rebound. That would have been quite the play.
So 3rd and 6 here from the 20. McBride right, Marquez left. I formation. It's going to be a handoff to Tate Kimball as he gets a block, cuts it up the middle, and he just keeps pounding as he will get it down to about the 17.
Kimball's brought down at about
so he'll get about half of what they need for the first down, but no doubt the Mustangs go for it here. As it is a 4th and 3 from the 17 as the Trojan faithful try to make some noise here. So McBride wide right, Marquez to the left. Going to be a play action as Knapp rolls out to his left to play down or a pass downfield, and that is going to be out in and out of the hands of the Trojan defender. Looked like Knapp could have almost run around that left end. But he decided to go ahead and pass it, and that was going to be an incomplete pass. With 4:27 left here in the third period, the Mustangs will turn it over on downs.
The Longmont kid was diving for that. If he would have been able to intercept that in the end zone, would have been worth 3 yards and got him out to the 20. But as is, they have to start on the 17.
So Fort Morgan does take a little time off the clock, but do not score. So 1st and 10 from the 17.
Boy, no one's covering this guy wide here.
And that pass was going to be in and out of the hands, actually through the hands of the intended receiver over on the far sideline. And that is Will Preuss.
Price.
Thank you.
It's a German name. Most people would not be able to pronounce it, but it is Preuss.
So brings up 2nd and 10.
And that time they shifted and brought someone over and actually brought attention to the one receiver that was wide open. And if he would have just saw that and thrown it to him.
So 2nd and 10. Denning rolls out to his right. The pass is going to be tipped, and he's going to catch his own pass across the 15, and he is going to be knocked out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. It looks like. No, I'm 5 yards off here. Looks like he will get, a yard out of that, get a couple out to the 19. So he threw a pass that was deflected and caught his own pass.
That's padding your stats, huh?
That's for sure. So 3rd and 8 from the 19. Another big defensive down here for the Mustangs. As two receivers come left, one right. Denning shotgun formation. Denning drops back, and that pass is going to be incomplete. Not a good pass at all, as he was trying to hit Kobe Martin, but not a good pass. So they'll bring up a 4th and 8 from the 19 for the Trojans.
And that's just the accumulation of all the pounding that Fort Morgan has done and hitting him as he's throwing. And now he's a little skittish and trying to get that ball out a little bit quicker, and that affects the whole timing and everything. So
he's been getting some pressure. They haven't got to him. I don't believe they may have sacked him once earlier on. A very short, wobbly punt, but will get somewhat of a bounce as it will roll dead at the Trojan 30-yard line. So 11-yard punt for the Trojans.
So Fort Morgan sets up not too far from where they left off, 13 yards back, but still in great field position. Best field position of the night for the Mustangs.
So 1st and 10, Fort Morgan from the Trojan 30-yard line.
I think it's about time for Tate to break one and go in for a touchdown.
So tight formation, 3-back backfield for the Mustangs. Give it to Kimball over that right side. Breaks it up the middle, but will get only a couple down to about the 28-yard line. As we have in there, Abrego and Miranda in there in front of Tate Kimball.
Only got one on that one. That's his shortest carry since way down early in the first half.
So 2nd and 9 from the 29 with 3.5 to go, 3rd period. 3-back backfield once again. Kimball over the left side as he bounces it outside, tries to get some room up there, is hit and breaks a tackle, and we'll get it down inside the 25.
All the way down to the 23, looks like.
Pretty close. So we're going to say it is the 18-yard line, so
no,
3rd down.
23. They fell for the same
23, excuse me.
Yeah.
I got to quit listening to this guy. I'll start listening to you.
3 at the 23. Well, I definitely will make my share of mistakes. So don't believe everything I say, folks.
So 3rd down for the Mustangs. Hand off to Kimball over that left side. Gets some nice blocks. He cuts it up across the 15 and keeps driving as he is driven out of bounds about the 10-yard line. So nice job on that left side by Bulis. And let's see, who else do we have out there on that left side? Colton Carpenter.
Right.
Also along with Isaiah Celestino.
Yeah, Celestino's out there leading the way. Great job.
So 1st and goal at the 10.
And this would be a huge touchdown here to go up by 3 scores.
Hand off to Kimball over that left side. Bounces it outside. Is tripped up, but he gets down to the 5, to the 4, maybe the 3. Once again, excellent blocking over on that left side.
And he is running angry. You can just tell that he wants it so bad. He is running hard, and he's punishing the tacklers as they come up to tackle him. So
3rd and goal as they mark it
at the 4, looks like.
At the 4. So down to 1:52 and counting here, 3rd period, as the Mustangs have gone to a 3-back set. Austin Breidenbach back into the game now as one of the lead backs. Handoff up the middle. Is that to Breidenbach as he goes into the touchdown for the Mustangs.
What a great deal on the first carry by someone besides
Kimball.
To get a touchdown for Austin Breidenbach.
I believe so. It puts him up 20-0 with 1:36 with the PAT coming up.
And Longmont's going to be able to say, we made a lot of mistakes. We turned over the ball once. We had a lot of penalties. But they're also going to have to admit that Fort Morgan played physical and dominated them.
And that extra point is up and good to put the Mustangs up now 21-0 with 1:36 left in the 3rd period here on B106 and B106.com. 21-0 Fort Morgan with 1:36 left third period. Nice drive by the Mustangs as they didn't have far to go after an 11-yard punt. They took it in 30 yards. Or took it in from 30 yards on the drive. Brian Back takes it in the final 4. And the freshman kicker doing a nice job on the extra points. Nice kickoff by McBride down to about the 7, up 10, the 15, the 20, and breaks it out on the far sideline, but holding his position out there for the Mustangs is Juan Lopez, as he kept his, we have a flag sitting back here at the 25, so that may be coming back. We'll see what the referee has for us here, see if it's a hold or a, we have holding on Longmont. They just keep shooting themselves in the foot. Like you said last week, though, they had a number of penalties also. So
right. And I'm sure some of the fans are thinking, come on, officials, quit calling the penalties. But, you know, when you're out in space and the official sees you holding, they're not going to throw the penalty. They're not from Fort Morgan.
Yeah. They don't, they're not.
Brush maybe, but they're nowhere near there. I'm sure out of the front range somewhere. So all the way back to the 15, that kills them.
1st and 10 from the 15, 2 receivers, left, 1 right, as they have another.
They got an illegal procedure again.
Another illegal procedure, I do believe, on that right side. As we await the referees, another false start, so they'll bring up a 1st and 15 from the 10.
And that's just really uncharacteristic of Longmont. You know, like I said, I saw them play last week, and they did it. But I also saw them early in the season when they played a tough Pueblo East game down in Pueblo, and it was pretty much mistake-free. I mean, that was a physical game, and Pueblo East has a great team and was able to beat them by a couple touchdowns. And then I saw them in their second game on Thursday, and I can't remember who they were playing, but you know, they played well and dominated that game as well.
So 1st and 15 from the 10. The right tackle this time took off too early. We can see that from up here. So that'll bring up a 1st and 20 from the 5.
And now Denning's at risk of getting tackled for a safety or a hold in the end zone for a safety. So I'm sure Langford's going to let the dogs loose, and we're going to go after them. Hopefully they don't have a screen or a draw or something that catches us, you know, out of position. But I'm sure we'll play it smart.
So 1st and 20 from the 5 as Longmont headed the wrong way. Denning shotgun formation as he looks, almost got from behind, but he is going to be drugged down for a loss inside the 5 by Moody and Bulis. Who else is there? Number 62 for the Mustangs, Eric Carrillo.
They're saying that.
So a loss of 1 back to the 4. So they'll bring up a 2nd and 21 from the 4. As Denning was back to pass, couldn't find anybody, and then McBride actually went by him on the backside. Missed him, but Carrillo kind of finished that up. So now we have 2 receivers left, 1 right. It's going to be a handoff around this left side, and he is going to slip out about the 5-yard line as Dawson Frick closes in. So it looks like maybe out to the 6. So we're down to 30 seconds left here, 3rd period. They do get it out, to the 9. So a gain of 5.
No, it's just the 7. That's that soccer line that's at the 8 that's confusing you. So 18 yards to go at the 7. Do you have a play for 3rd and 18 from your own 7? Because most coaches don't.
No, I probably not. Maybe a screen pass, but I don't think these guys would do that. Watch them run it. So 2 receivers left. Denning goes back. Going to be a pass out into the flat, but incomplete, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. That number 82, I believe, and that is Hayden Mosnes.
And now you have to punt from your 7-yard line, and Coach, you had that called right. They did go screen
kind
pass.
of a bubble screen out, right, but that's the end of the 3rd period with the Mustangs up 21-0 on B106 and B106.com. Start of the 4th quarter here. Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde here at Everly Montgomery Field. Tristan Reyes running the boards for us tonight, and Julie Garcia is our replay engineer once again. Thanks to them back at the studios in Fort Morgan, as they do a great job every week, and tonight is no exception. So it will bring up a 4th and 18.
And I had a thought on that, during that timeout about the penalties. And as a Longmont fan, I could look at that and say, why are they, doing those false starts? But it's just like the pros; they are trying so hard to keep from getting.
Another short punt. I don't believe it was blocked, but it landed at about the 21, and then that kid picks it up and probably could have got another 1 or 2 yards, but that ball is going to be blown dead at the Trojan 25-yard line.
Yeah.
And somebody hurt for Fort Morgan over there with the ref. I was trying to see.
17, maybe?
I think it's 47. I believe that's Dylan McBride.
Yeah.
So another short punt.
Yeah, another short field for the Mustangs, 25-yard line. That's 5 yards better than the last time.
So we'll take that. So 1st and 10 from the 25. Fort Morgan with 11:51 left in the contest. Handoff to Breidenbach, to George Perea. So Perea in along with Angel Abrego in the backfield.
Breidenbach coming back in.
So Abrego will go out, Breidenbach into the game.
That's smart at this point. Why not rest Kimball? You have a 3-touchdown lead with
11:22. Yeah.
So pretty insurmountable.
So that was a 5-yard gain. Breidenbach right up the middle as he gets it down across the 15, just inside the 15. So that'll be enough for a first down. So nice run there by Breidenbach. He should be fairly fresh. He hasn't been used much tonight.
Only a second carry. He did have the one pass earlier for 48 yards where he just came out of the backfield and Dalen kind of rolled out to that left side. Could have run, but found Breidenbach, tossed it to him, and Breidenbach did the rest.
So a handoff to Perea over this left side, and he is going to be held short of the line of scrimmage. It will be a loss back to the 16. So 2nd and 11 from the 16 as Perea couldn't get around that left end.
Yeah, and the blocking just wasn't there like it had been in the past.
Schneider, number 63, made the tackle for a
So Breidenbach, let's see, number 4 is in for the Mustangs. Gerardo Miranda. Bulis, tight end on the left side, McBride on the right.
And I think just to roll out and pass to Trey, releasing downfield would be.
That is handed off to Perea. Looked like almost a missed handoff there in the backfield. Will be a no gain, it looks like. So it'll bring up another 3rd and 11 from the 16.
And enough rest for Tate. He's coming back in.
So Perea will take a seat, as Kevin said. Tate Kimball back into the game. As the clock continues to run here, 9:51 in counting, with the Mustangs up 21-0. And in possession of the ball.
And I thought Fort Morgan was going to beat Longmont, but I sure didn't think it was going to be like this.
So 3-back backfield once again. As Knapp is going to be sacked in the backfield. He was going to look for Cade Bulis, I believe, out here in the flat. But he was sacked back at the 23-yard line.
He had Trey wide open in the end zone, but
not enough time.
All the way back out.
Back to the 23.
A loss of 7 on that.
4th and...
Well, the announcer doesn't have the same math.
4th and 18.
Yep.
From the 23. Down to 9 minutes. Adrian Marquez comes left along with Garcia. Garver and McBride to the right. Shotgun formation, snap back. Look down over the middle. It's going to be over the head of Trey McBride, as he was fairly well covered.
So that was kind of like that pass play last week against Northridge, where he just threw the ball up in between Trey and 2 defenders were right there, and Trey just strong-armed it and brought it in. But that one was over his head. He had no chance.
So incomplete pass there. That will turn the ball over on downs. So 1st and 10 from the 23
I think
for
we
the
can see
Trojans.
passing from here on.
2 receivers right, 2 left. Denning goes back and down this left sideline. That ball, I think if Garver would have left it alone, I think Kimmel might have had it.
Yep.
But Garver knocked it away. Anyway, it's the incomplete pass, so it'll bring up a 2nd and 10 from the 23 for the Trojans, as that receiver was well covered.
And Fort Morgan's got to take Kimball about 15, 20 yards off the ball, and he's going to stay that deep, and no one's going to beat him deep for any pass.
Yeah, kind of a free safety type out
Right.
there.
Absolutely.
So 3 receivers right, 1 left. Denning shotgun formation as a low snap looks out to his left, and that pass is going to be complete, but immediately tackled at the 30 by Garcia. Luis Garcia.
Oh, they gave it out to the 31.
So 3rd down and about 3
Third down 2.
from the 31. Tight formation once again, put a man in motion. It's going to be a pitch. It's going to be right up the middle, enough for the first down as he run it out past the 35, possibly to the 36.
Yep, 15 on that carry.
It's the first down out across the 35.
Yeah, see where they mark it. Yeah, we'll give it out to the 36.
So 5 yards on
Gain
that.
of 5, so 1st and 10, Longmont from the 36. 1 receiver split wide right. Denning shotgun formation, gets the snap, and he looks over that left side wide open at the 39, at the 40, then tackled at the 42 or 43.
Denning's pass is complete.
So second,
Number 15, Drake.
looks like about a 2nd and 4.
Ball out to the 42.
So a gain of 6.
6 yards on the play.
Out to the 42 after that completed pass. But the clock does run. As they're once again pitch to Townsend. He gets it across the 45 and will have enough for the first down, as he is going to be just short of midfield. So 1st and 10 from the 49 for the Trojans.
And that clock runs, and they don't seem like they're in any big hurry to get up there, which
Down to
strange.
7 minutes. They started this with 8:44 on the clock. So shotgun formation once again with Denning. Put a man in motion. Play action as he rolls out to his left.
that should be down.
Should be grounding. He never got it past the line of scrimmage.
Oh, well, you lucked out on that one, and we lucked out because 30 was down the field unattended, and all he would have had to do is just heave that up there and had a touchdown for sure.
He had Trey McBride breathing down his neck, so he didn't have time to look downfield. So 2nd and 9 from the 49 after the incomplete pass.
16th pass for Denning on the night. Probably a lot more than they're used to.
So shotgun formation, put a man in motion, hand off to him coming around the left side. He gets it down into Fort Morgan territory, down to the 45. So that will bring up about a 3rd and 4 from the 45.
And the clock runs, and
We're down to 6:34.
I understand that you want to maybe end on a positive note and get a drive down, but you're certainly not going to catch up at this rate. You can expect an onside kick if they do get in the end
So they
zone.
bring the receiver wide right. Now it's Kobe Martin. It's going to be a handoff on this right side. It gets down to the 40, 35, down to about the 30. Enough down for a first down as they get it down to the 31. So 1st and 10.
Of course, the Longmont faithful are saying, why didn't we play like this all game? Well, we're playing back in prevent at this point, allowing them to just burn the clock all they want.
Yeah, down to 6 minutes left here. Mustangs up by 3 touchdowns, 21-0. It's going to be a handoff around this right side once again. And nothing there, as he is going to be tackled by Eric Carrillo, as he will get down to the 30, so it'll be a gain of 1. So bring up a 2nd and 9 from the 30. As we are 3 minutes into this drive.
2nd down, 9 yards to go.
So we have a timeout stop. Looks like Dylan McBride who had a helmet problem, but gets that taken care of. 5:33 and counting. It's going to be a rollout to the left, and that pass is going to be caught out about the 25, but taken down immediately by Angelo Rivera. So third down, third and 3. Third and 3 from the 25. So nice job by Angelo Rivera. We're down to 5 minutes and counting here, getting in the shotgun, and that pass is going to be to the receiver number 30. And that looks like that will be enough for a first down. But they're going to take 4 or 5 minutes off the clock to try to score. They'll never catch up as they wind the clock. So first and 10 from the 20 after that 5-yard gain. Getting under center, hands off to Townsend on that left side, and he is going to be brought down short of the 15, just inside the 20 actually. Maybe the 19-yard line. Let's see where they finally put it down at.
Trey McBride, number 13 for the Mustangs.
Yeah, we'll say the 9. Yeah, it looks like it's 2 yards. We'll say the 18. So second and 8 from the 18. 2 receivers, right, 1 left. Shotgun formation for Denning. He rolls back and looks over the middle for the pass, and that is going to be out of the reach of his intended receiver, Cruz Garcia. There's Isaac Linker back there on the coverage for the Mustangs.
9 yards to go.
So third and 8 from the 18.
Obviously in 4-down territory, but they're probably going to take 2 more shots at trying to get in the end zone. They can't let this clock get much more down. And they only got 4 minutes left. Even if they kick the onside kick, it's going to take them 4 minutes to get down and score. And you know, if their plan is to get 2 onside kicks, that's not a very good plan.
So 2 receivers right, 1 left. Shotgun for Denning as they have illegal motion, I believe, once again by number 19. Is that 19?
Yep.
And that is Cruz Garcia.
And you can understand that because Fort Morgan was stunting, and if he wouldn't have moved, Fort Morgan would have had a guy coming through, probably Keller, I can't remember which one of the linebackers was coming through, would have gotten in and definitely would have gotten Denning before he could have had a chance to throw.
So third and 13 coming up from the 23-yard line.
So if all things go as we expect, I would say that Fort Morgan's going to end the season 9-1 with a sole loss to Silver Creek. Maybe a chance to see them later on in the playoffs. But it's time to start preparing for whoever's going to be next weekend, as we most likely will travel. And, hopefully not over to Palisade, because they seem to be playing pretty hot right now, but more likely Conifer, maybe Palmer Ridge. Worst case scenario, maybe Holy Family. But again, if we get in at that 9 seed, then we've got to be playing Discovery Canyon, in week 2. But
that would be at home, so.
And you got to play them anyway, so might as well play them at home and take your chances. After tonight's game, I think our chances are pretty good. I think if we played Silver Creek again 3 more times, we'd probably win at least 2 of those.
Yeah.
I really do.
And sometime Sunday they'll have the pairings out for the state tournament. It'll be Sunday sometime, so check Chasa's website, and you can find out where they'll be. Snap back to Denning, and that pass is going to be incomplete as Trey McBride introduces himself to Oakley Denning.
Incomplete pass brings up
So somebody down for the Mustangs. Cramp, as you say. So 4th and 13 from the 23.
And 73 is coming in to replace, looks like 56 maybe.
Might be 55. That Moody has been, James Moody.
Jorge Ramos coming in relief, and he's a good-sized fella, and he's been playing quite a bit too.
So that brings up a 4th and 13 from the 23. So as it's been going all night, Mustang defense has bent a little bit, but have not broke. So,
and I'm sure they would love to preserve the shutout.
That's for
Josh
sure.
Langford would probably buy them all an ice cream.
So Townsend comes out. Now they're going to put receiver out to the right. Shotgun formation for Denning. Put a man in motion. Denning rolls out to his right. It's going to look back across the field. And that is going to be out of the way out in front of the intended receiver. Trey McBride and Oakley Denning meet back at the 35 once again. So 1st and 10 Fort Morgan after they stop the Trojans once again. After they have the ball on 15 plays, we have 3:57 left.
Longmont only has 2 timeouts, having to take that one to kind of regroup after a couple penalties. And
so 1st and 10 from the 23 for the Mustangs. Didn't take quite 5 minutes off the clock, did the Trojans. As Tate Kimball into the game for the Mustangs. As they go with the 3-back set once again with 3:57 left here in the game. Hand off to Kimball over this left side. He stutter steps. He's going to be hit in the backfield by the Trojans. Maybe maybe a loss of 1. We'll see. Maybe they're still going to park at about the 23. It's hard to tell where it's going to be a 2nd down. They do count it as a loss. So 2nd and 11 from the 22. But the clock does continue to run. So Tate Kimball as the lead back and also the featured back here tonight. As Dalen Knapp watches the back judge as he gives a signal for the 10-second mark. Now it's going to be a handoff to Kimball over that left side, cuts it back up the middle, gets it across the 25 out to about the 27. So it brings up a 3rd down after a 5-yard gain.
And that's his 27th carry of the night. So he's the workhorse for sure.
So he goes out as well as Angela Brago. He goes out. Looks like George Perea is in. Bryden back. I can't see who the other back is. Maybe it's Miranda. This is down to 2:35 and counting here. The Mustangs with a 3rd and 6. Handoff up the middle to Breidenbach, and that will be awful close to a 1st down, but maybe he's about a yard short. But we'll bring up a 4th and short.
4th and 1, and looks like they're going to line up and maybe try and draw them off.
So 4th and 1 from the 33. So we'll see if they run it down and call timeout. It looks like Dalen Knapp stands on the sideline. So they will run this down as far as possible, then call a timeout under 2 minutes now. So big victory here for the Mustangs. I'm gonna put it in the books here. With the Mustangs up 21-0 in the clock running as Fort Morgan calls a timeout with 1:44 left on the clock, up 21-0 here in the game.
And I don't know, you might just ask these guys, pride-wise, you want to go for it? You know? I mean, it's 1 yard, it's like a half a yard, and we've been able to get positive yardage every time. You know, if we don't get it, we've been able to stop them. Worst case scenario, we give them the short field, maybe they score with a minute left. But if we get it, then it's pretty much just, run the clock out.
Yeah.
So we shall see.
We'll see what they come up with. We'll see if they decide if they want to punt, or that could also be dangerous too if it gets blocked. But we will see what they have in store for us as teams break back out onto the field. It looks like George Perea, Austin Breidenbach, and who am I looking at here? Gerardo Miranda. So it is going to be a keeper by Dalen Knapp for the 1st down. So that should seal the victory here.
Dalen Knapp carries for the 1st
The
down.
Longmont faithful are packing up their blankets and heading home.
So 1st and 10 Fort Morgan from the 34-yard line.
Yep, needed one, got one.
As Longmont is in no hurry or any inkling of trying to call a timeout to try to get the ball back to try and put any points up on the board. So Great victory here for the Mustangs, as Kevin said earlier, moving to 9-1. 4-1 in the league will place them at second in the league.
Longmont dropping to 6-4, losing to a good Meade team, to Pueblo East, to Silver Creek, and now to Fort Morgan.
So a snap up or handoff up the middle to Breidenbach. Out to the 35. So gain of 1. So bring up a 2nd and 9
Tackles Breidenbach.
from the 35 as we are down under a minute, down to 50 seconds. So a couple of more snaps and Fort Morgan will have a 9-1 record. Looks like they're going to line up in the victory formation here as we get it down to 32 seconds left here. So this should be the last play of the game as Dalen Knapp kneels on it. So Fort Morgan comes into Longmont and takes care of the Trojans by a score of 21-0. With Tate Kimball doing most of the work tonight here.
Running 27 out of the 37 carries for the scrimmage.
So big night here for the Mustangs as they go 9-1. We will be back with the post-game show after 3 minutes on B106 and B106.com. The Fort Morgan Mustangs post-game show is brought to you by Morgan Community College. Find out why Morgan Community College is the best choice for your higher education. Visit MCC online at www.morgancc.edu or stop by the campus for a personal advising session. MCC, here to help you imagine your possibilities, believe in yourself, and achieve your goals. And we're also broadcasting right now on Facebook Live. Fort Morgan Mustangs come away with a 21-0 victory, go 9-1 on the season, 4-1 in league play, end up second place in league play. The scoring, there was no scoring in the first quarter. The Mustangs go up 7-0 on a 8-yard run, by Tate Kimball. PAT was good to make the score 7-0 with 8:51 to go in the first half. The Mustangs then hold the Trojans as they had traveled clear down to the 13-yard line, fumble and recovered by the Mustangs. They went 91 yards in 5 plays. The big play at the end was a 66-yard pass to Trey McBride, and the point after once again was good to make the score 14-0, and that's the way the first half ended. The Fort Morgan Mustangs then in the second half of play get the ball on the Trojan 30-yard line, and in 5 plays take it in from the 30. Breidenbach takes it in on second and goal from 4 yards out. The PAT was good once again to put the final score at 21-0. But a nice job by the Fort Morgan Mustangs as they held this potent Trojan offense out of the end zone tonight. As they held them, the Trojans had the ball for about 5 minutes with 8:44 left in the game and held them on a 4th and 13 from the 23, and then Fort Morgan ran about 6 plays and the game came to an end. So great job here by the Mustangs. I think Kevin has some stats here for the Fort Morgan Mustangs.
Absolutely, Brian. What a great game for Fort Morgan to end the regular season with a victory over a long-standing program with a lot of pride, the Longmont Trojans. Fort Morgan kind of balanced it out a little bit. We talked at halftime about how Fort Morgan was heavy on the pass. They only threw 3 incomplete passes in the second half. So they still have 138 yards passing, 133 on the yards on the ground. So that puts us at, doing the math, 271 yards total offense. I'm guessing Longmont was probably held to 150, if that. They really didn't seem to move the ball very much second half. I guess they did get down a little bit, but we don't have those stats, so we won't talk about them. Let's go to the individual stats. Dalen Knapp finishes the night 4 for 8 for 138 yards and 1 touchdown. That 1 touchdown is the 66-yard completion that Trey McBride brings in and runs down. That man, thinking back on that was just a beautiful throw. He was open. He threw it probably about as high as he did down the field. It probably went about 40 yards in the air Trey had to slow down just a little bit. The defender kind of came up and bumped off the back of Trey. Trey catches it over his shoulder, and the defender falls down, and Trey goes the rest of the way for a touchdown. The other passing, Breidenbach catches one for 48 yards, and Belis catches one for 15, and Marquez late in the half catches one out of bounds, going out of bounds to set up the field goal attempt, one for 9 yards. On the ground, it was the Tate Kimball show for sure, 27 carries out of the Mustangs 37, and he went for 121 yards, not nearly the 400-plus that he had last week, but not Northridge defenders out there tonight either.
That's for sure.
So he'll be a little sore. You know, he took some good solid hits, but he also laid some good licks on people too. The other running nap, 3 attempts for -7 yards. One of those was a sack, and one was him taking a knee there at the end. Breidenbach ends up carrying the ball 4 times for 15 yards. The most important one was the third and final touchdown for the Mustangs. And then Perea gets in, giving Tate Kimball a breather, and runs 3 times for 4 yards. So again, 37 carries, 133 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground, and 1 touchdown in the air on 4 of 8, 138 yards. So it was a good game. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, it was. Very impressive game here by the Mustangs tonight. So they, it seemed like every week we were saying, well, are they really for real? Is it? But this Mustang team, we can tell you they're for real. They're, from halfway through the season here where they keep beating these high-ranked teams and powerful teams. They come away with a 9-1 record, only losing to Silver Creek, which is, third in RPI now, third in rankings in the state. So,
and when we came out that first drive, Longmont had that first drive, and they went all the way down. It was tempting to think, Fort Morgan might have some trouble tonight, but that was the only drive that Longmont was able to sustain and go very long on, and Fort Morgan's defense rallied and stopped that. And what can you say? Great defense, great offense, great special teams. Live to play another week.
Yeah, that's for sure. And we've always, once again, we need to give credit, to the players, but also to defensive coach Josh Langford. As week in and week out, he always has a great defensive plan and can change it in midstream if need be. As we saw, as you just mentioned, that Longmont marched down the field, had tried that field goal but missed. And then after that, they pretty well shut them down. Especially their running game, which has been their strong suit all year, which forced them into some passing situations. And we saw that didn't work real well for them. So great job here by the Fort Morgan Mustangs. So we will pick a Fort Morgan player of the game. That is brought to you by Transwest Chevrolet Buick, serving Northeast Colorado and now located in Fort Morgan and Sterling. Stop by and take a test drive. They have a great selection of new and used vehicles, or browse our website, transwestchevroletbuick.com. And I believe we will probably go with Tate Kimball once again for our player of the game with his 121 yards and 1 touchdown here tonight for the Mustangs. So.
Absolutely. The only one that would be in contention would be Trey McBride on defense, just putting pressure and causing several false starts. And then after he met up with Denning in the backfield for a couple of hard hits, Denning didn't have his accuracy on the passing. But, I think we got to go with Tate with, the winning effort there.
Yeah, 27 carries tonight, so for sure the workhorse tonight. So congratulations to the Mustangs as they win at 21-0. Great job tonight by our producer and engineer, Tristan Reyes. Julie Garcia is our replay engineer tonight. Great job also by Julie tonight. The final score once again is Fort Morgan 21, the Trojans 0. For Kevin Rohde, this is Brian Nickel. We will be back next Saturday. We just don't know where, as we will wait for the pairings to come out Sunday and see where the Mustangs will be playing next Saturday afternoon, we presume anyway, next Saturday. So for Kevin Rohde, this is Brian Nickel. Once again, the final score, Fort Morgan 21, Longmont 0. You've been watching the post-game show on Facebook Live and listening on B106 and B106.com. Good night, everybody.